How to reduce the interest on the loan during the crisis. The share of families in many countries with outstanding loans, consumer, car, and mortgage, increased from 2008 to 2017 from 43% to 67%. At the same time, the amount of debt is growing rapidly, by 12.7% in 2017, by 22.4% in 2018 and by 26.8% in 2019. Thus, part of the population was freed from credit dependence, and the majority plunged into it deeper and deeper. The significant part of the people, due to the consistent policy of states to organize an artificial money hunger, has lost the opportunity to maintain an acceptable standard of living without loans. They are relentlessly plunged into debt and credit bondage. The significant part of people take new loans not for consumption, but to pay off the previous ones. There is no doubt that as the crisis deepens and manifests itself, the proportion of those unable to pay off loans will grow. And the severity and complexity of the problems facing their families will increase. It is significant that at present a significant part of not only the middle class, but also the poor and even the poor, who lack money to buy even food, are under credit. Hundreds of thousands of poor families end up in the millstones of microfinance organizations, these modern usurers who issue small short-term loans at tens and hundreds of % per annum. Of course, their outstanding loans are usually low. But low in their incomes, so that the credit problem is acute now virtually in front of the entire international community. At the same time, banks, as a rule, do not want to provide even credit holidays. And in a number of cases, they also require the borrower to pay additional money for the provision of these vacations. However, over time, banks will probably begin to realize that they are not interested in your bankruptcy. After all, it will worsen its financial statements, and therefore both its reputation and creditworthiness, and deprive him of the interest he is counting on. Therefore, if you have any problems, due to illness, childbirth, dismissal of your wife or transfer of you to a part-time workweek, collect the relevant certificates and go to the bank to negotiate the easing of credit conditions. Do not hide or run away. This is always and is interpreted by everyone as a sign of dishonesty. On the contrary, demonstrating sincerity, honesty, and commitment to fulfill your obligations despite unpredictable troubles that befell you can help you. And it increases your chances of bargaining with the bank for changes in credit conditions acceptable to you. And, of course, treat all the bank's proposals with redoubled caution. Proofread the contract down to the smallest detail and pay particular attention to the fine print. The classic example is a credit card with a 100-day grace period, during which no interest is charged. It was written in small print on advertising posters and brochures that funds are credited within 5 days. Given that, everyone is used to their ubiquitous crediting of money within 5 minutes. This clarification meant that those who did not pay attention to him and paid off the credit on the card, for example, on the 96th day, if the bank so desired, could easily get to penalty interest. After all, the bank can easily declare that the money inside it from one account to another goes for 5 days, as it is written in the advertisement. If their account had no money to interest could easily be wound, start accruing penalties or other payments. At the next receipt of money on the card, its lucky owner could suddenly lose a very significant amount for himself. Be careful. Carefully read all the documents, which gather to sign. And remember that during a crisis, money will depreciate. To buy you things habitual to need more and more money. As for loans, if you have an outstanding loan in the currency of your country and receive your income in the same currency, then this is a normal calm situation. You have nowhere to rush, since both your income and your loan are depreciated by inflation at the same rate. Of course, with an extremely significant, but in a crisis an almost universal reservation. If you do not lose your job and if your agreement does not provide for the bank's right to unilaterally raise interest rates. Good luck with business. Stay tuned and subscribe to the channel. It will be a lot of valuable and useful information. In the next video, you will learn what to do if you have a large debt to the bank.